Hey, don't worry about the rain. We've got a roof. There's no rainouts here. It's DLLS Rangers podcast coming next. All of the off seasons have become busier and busier. Baseball does a good job of making sure they stay busy with various deadlines and so forth. But this off season for the Rangers, I think, might be busier. In fact, way busier than most. It's the DLLS Sports Studios. DLLS Rangers podcast, John Radigan, Jeff Wilson. The cat is over here. The queen is with us today, so we're awfully glad to have her and you chat along, hang out with us for the back half of the lunch hour, if you will, and let's talk some baseball. And it's just amazing because there's just been so much to do. Fortunately, I mean, hell, the Rockies haven't even hired their coach, their manager yet, right? Right. So at least the Rangers got that piece done, right, early. They were the first team of the 9, I think it was. They were the first team to knock out the hiring of their manager.
Yeah, that's true.
So that helps, right? I mean, that gets the and by the way, that piece was in place last year too. So that helps expedite things, I suppose. If you're the Rockies and you haven't even really started with the manager yet, you got a lot of work to do, and not much time to do it.
Yeah, and you know, the period from the end of the postseason to the open of free agency is basically a month, and you know, it was a busy month for the Rangers, and yes, the hiring of Skip Schumaker, and then trying to piece together the coaching staff. So they made some hard decisions there. You know, letting the Angels talk to Mike Maddox. You know, that's an interesting decision. You know, it's probably not an easy one, but anyway, we saw what happened with that. So the coaching staff gets all lined up great. And then it's right into free agency, and during that time, the Rangers were having their pro scouting meetings like they always do. And, you know, I'm sure they were in contact with their own free agents during that time. Produced nothing, but still they were in contact. And now you move into the transactional phase here. Your free agency is open, but you still have these roster cleanups. And, you know, we did set the reserve list or the 40-man roster on Tuesday. And now mañana is the non-tender deadline, and then I think, you know, somewhere, I think it's middle December, they exchange the salary arbitration figures and have a certain period to try to reach agreement before hearings would start in late January, early February. And by then, hell, it's time to go to spring training, and you better have your team together.
Yeah, so there's the quick thumbnail of how many things need to get done. And again, when you've got a new manager in place, and he has immediately stated, as has the president of baseball operations and the general manager, that there is a new philosophy in town, at least offensively. You don't want to change a thing about what you did from a pitching standpoint last year, although you're going to have to because some of the faces will be different. But you don't want to change that. You do want to change the offense. In fact, you pretty much want to change almost everything about the way the offense has performed over the course of the last couple of years. And so, you know, that's big. That's a tall task. That's a big undertaking. That's what Skip Schumaker is trying to do right now. And the first step in that, Jeff, and you know, you talked to him last week. I haven't talked to him since the day he was introduced, but you know, I've seen him a lot because he's good for him. He's getting his message out via most of the shows. Ours was the first one he went on, but he's been on several podcasts since then. I try to check those out. And his thing is getting to know the players now. And he said that to us, too. He wanted to do that. You don't want to do that, Jeff, at spring training. So he's taking the time to make sure he has a relationship with these players, when they get to Surprise in the middle of February.
Yeah, and it sounds like as he put the coaching staff together, he talked to some of these guys, especially when it came to Jordan Teagues. I really think he pulled the veteran pitchers, some of the young guys. But, yeah, he said he's trying to meet most of these guys face-to-face, he said, for lunch or dinner. So, A, I'm sure it's quite expensive for him, and B, even as fit as he is, he may be putting on a few pounds here. But that it's critical, and you want to convey to them the messages that if they're going to be on your team, you need those veteran guys to be the ones who enact his plan, and then, but you still don't want to ignore the younger guys, and you want to give them a thought, change of direction, like the hitters. Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we think you can do. All of that stuff, and so. Yeah, I mean, but it's something. Ron Washington always comes to mind when he got the Angels job. He flew to New Jersey to talk to Mike Trout.
Of course.
It's a big deal.
Yeah,
getting FaceTime with these guys at a time when they don't want to have FaceTime with anybody except their families.
Sure.
But when the new manager comes a calling, you probably got to do it.
Got to at least have lunch with him, right? So, but then the Mike Trout of this team is Corey Seager. And in addition to everything else, he and his wife just had a baby.
Right.
So it makes scheduling a little bit more difficult, as it obviously also makes sleeping a little bit more difficult this time of year. So Corey miscalculated that one, right? You need to have that baby right when the season starts, so you aren't necessarily there for those late night feedings. But no, good for him and good for his wife and good for their new one. But yes, that's the process, right? That's what they're undergoing. And truthfully, Skip Schumaker, I think, was around last year. We know that. But he told us on the day that he was hired officially, I didn't want to go up and just kind of get in these guys' way and start talking to them a lot and, imparting wisdom on them that may be somewhat different or contradictory to what their other coaches were saying. So that's good on him. But he needs, so he still, it's not like he got to know them, right?
Yeah,
sure. He observed them, but he didn't want to be invasive, for lack of a better word. So he didn't get to know them.
Yeah. And a lot of that was, out of respect to the existing coaches already in place. He didn't want to look like he was, knifing anybody in the back or anything like that. And I think it was hard, especially with Jake Berger, for him to not lend a little more technical advice.
Yes.
But it was the way he went about it, probably the right way to go about it. But, yeah, it kind of put him behind schedule as far as meeting these guys. And I'm sure he's racking up some airline miles. Not every player lives here locally. And, again, maybe a pant size or two.
Yeah, you'll never know. Yeah, he's not going to take him to, a bad restaurant for lunch or dinner, right?
Yeah,
he's going to take him to a nice place, steakhouse or whatever. Yeah. The other thing that he's doing is imparting to them what he wants to accomplish offensively in particular, and obviously the hitting coaches. And I see you talking about them there, and you're right, sports guy T.O. It's there are two set. Justin Veely's the main guy. Alex Cintrone, formerly of the Astros, is with him, and they haven't yet named the third person. They were surprised when Seth Connor left the organization just before the coaching announcement came. So those guys will be dealing with this too. But the point from Chris Young all the way on down is they want this sort of connected offense. They want this offense that moves it forward. They want the Blue Jays offense, basically, right?
Yeah.
They can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but they also have great strikeout rates. They're hard to get out.
Right.
They walk a lot. They do what the game asks them to do. These are all areas that were, a problem for the Rangers, not just last year, over the course of the last 2 years. And you can't just anymore, at least, rely on slug. And the Rangers' offense was kind of built to rely on slug. And we were talking yesterday about the possible non-tender of both Heim and Garcia, and I brought up the stat. Heim was 154 in OPS out of 155 last year, and Garcia was 145. I misread it. The numbers were right, 55 or 54 out of 40, 55 and 45 out of 55. It was 2 years, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's a 2-year stat. And that's what they're trying to get this team away from, where if it's not a double or a home run, a double in the gap or a home run, it's nothing, right?
For sure. And Heim's OPS the last 2 years is 602. I mean, that is just
unbelievable.
Oof.
Yeah.
So, the ballpark, we're going to talk about this in a minute. The ballpark might be playing into that.
Sure.
But I do think that, and we need to acknowledge, and it was acknowledged yesterday, they're not the only two guys who haven't hit.
No.
And I just can't blame the ballpark for the collective performance drop off from 23 to now. But so, seeking internal improvements. That's what the Rangers have been looking for last year and counting on or relying heavily on. It didn't happen. In fact, it got worse with Garcia, Heim, Marcus Semien. Josh Young was mostly healthy and not particularly good. Josh Smith declined a little bit, but he was all right for, he is what he is.
His is usually a second half decline because he gets tired, I think.
But I think he is what he is. And, he's still not a lot of Evan Carter out there. You're still waiting for Wyatt Langford to put it all together. He's got most of it together, but still has things to work on. Seager hurt too often. These are all the flaws and a lot of the reasons for the lack of production. And I think, contractually where they are in arbitration is why we're talking so much about Heim and Garcia. If it was two other guys who were in their last year of arbitration expected to make a ton, we would be talking about them. So anyway, it's just, there's just, they don't fit.
No, and
if you have 9 guys who are all the same, it's not going to work.
Right. And as Kurdua said, they chased a lot these last 2 years, and that's exactly right. They chased way too much. Adolis might have been the worst at chasing. He would chase balls that were so far not strikes that it was just amazing. And so what you're looking for, what Skip's trying to accomplish here, right, is to make sure they have guys who don't chase and they have a low strikeout rate, a low K rate. And we haven't seen his name in the chat yet today, but we've seen it a lot the last couple of weeks. Luis Arraez comes to mind. Skip has said it's one of his favorite players ever. He played for Skip in Miami in 2023 and 2024. And take a look at his strikeout rate over the last 2 years. Minimum 800 plate. Yeah. Oh, it says 04, but yeah, I wish it says, but it's 2024. And look at Kat fell on her own sword there. But we asked her to put that graphic together very late in the process. So
I didn't ask her to do it. You did. I'm not taking any blame.
Okay. Yeah, she did. But it's all good. It's since 24. But look at the difference. He's best at 3.7. You'd take Nico Horner or Stephen Kwan. Those guys don't strike out much.
Right.
At 9%. Mm-hmm. He's 3.7, Jeff. So not only would he be great, as just himself as a guy who's not going to strike out, but the other guys can kind of watch him, learn from him, work with him, talk to him.
Yeah.
Then the only problem becomes, where the hell do you play him?
Well, that's not the only problem. He hit 8 home runs.
Yeah.
And none of those guys is a power hitter. And so it's like, how much power are you willing to sacrifice? I mean, you don't want 9 punch and Judys.
No.
You need a balanced offense. You need some guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. But what he does it so well. And if that's what the Rangers are wanting, guys who put the ball in play. Arraez doesn't walk a ton, but he reaches base because he gets so many hits.
Right.
If that's the kind of guy the Rangers want, they should go get him and just find a place for him to play. Now, and maybe the acquisition of Arise would be the precursor toward the movement of Marcus Semien.
Sure.
Because Arise could probably handle second base. He played that in 23 for Schumaker, more than 100 games. He can play first base. That's where he was most of last season. Play first base when against a tough one for Jake Berger.
Yeah.
A tough righty on Jake Berger. Get him out. And anyway, I think there are ways to do it. They've probably even discussed it and figured it out between Peterson not facing lefties, maybe Berger not playing certain righties, additional days off for Marcus Semien if he's still on the roster. Maybe sneak Arise into left field if Langford needs a day off, or against left-handers if you want Carter out of the lineup and you want to play Langford in center. So there are probably ways to get him his at-bats. But it sure would be a lot easier if like a player were to be moved.
Yes.
And the players being Semien or Berger or Peterson.
Jock Peterson, which is seemingly impossible. But we had a Jock Peterson sighting last night that we'll chat about a little bit later on in the program. Coming up next, though, let's talk about the ballpark. It came up in the year-end meeting. We haven't talked much about the park effects yet, but we're going to now on the DLLS Rangers podcast. That is after we talk about the greatness of Shady Rays. It doesn't appear as though I will need my Shady Rays for a few days because it looks like it's supposed to rain for quite a few days. And what did they used to say? A day without orange juice is like a day without sunshine.
Did they say that?
I think so.
Oh.
A day without Shady Rays is like a day without sunshine. I mean, it is a day without sunshine, but I like sunshine and I love Shady Rays, and you can get you a pair for so cheap. There's so many varieties at shadyrays.com. They have great styles, great colors. They have something for everyone. And all you have to do is go to shadyrays.com and use the code DLLS35, and you get a full 35% off your Shady Rays. With the holidays coming, I promise you, these glasses are as high quality, as stylish, as everything as any of the really high-priced brands. You'll love the prices. You'll love the quality. Shady Rays.
I got a text message yesterday from somebody I had no idea who it was saying, "Hey, we're in your neighborhood doing some roofing estimates. Let me know if you want me to stop by." Wasn't Qualis Roofing, or else I would have been like,
"Okay, yeah,
bet, get your butt over here." Yeah. With over 700 5-star reviews and an average rating of 4.9, Qualis Roofing is one of the most trusted names in the industry across North Texas and Austin. All right, Austin, Round Rock fans, if you're listening, call Qualis too. It can be done for your home, for your businesses. Like John will occasionally need some roofing help.
Darn right.
Storm season will be upon us in the spring with the hail and all of that, and might be time for a new roof. But the cool thing about Qualis is if you just call them for an estimate, you're going to get a DLS t-shirt. If you get your roof done with them, holy cow, a grill or a Traeger smoker? Give me a break. So visit QualisGC.com or search Qualis Roofing and Construction, QUALIS, or call 817-500-9008 to get started.
I promise you, that Traeger would have put me over. Right? Yeah. If I'm sitting there deciding between roof company A and roof company B, I mean, if the DLLS shirt didn't, the Traeger grill or Traeger smoker absolutely would have on that deal, because those are pretty fun and pretty valuable. And I got the big thick packet of my new homeowner's policy. But again, there's a business with the home. So, I mean, it's like this thick. And I'm just reading it, and I swear to God, on every page it said roof. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with a new roof again. I just did it. But if I do, I'm going to Qualis. Rangers in their new ballpark, I don't know if you knew this, they have a roof. And
I've heard.
Yeah, they have big dimensions, right? And we remember really when the ballpark first opened in 2020 and there were no people in it, Jeff. It was just us, you, me, and Dave Raymond, and C.J. Nitkowski, I think, was there, and John Blake, and the players, and then a bunch of cardboard cutouts.
Right.
And Mark McLemore and Steve Buechele were with me, and Joey Gallo hated it. Right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was like, I can't hit in this ballpark. I don't like this. And he's a big, strong power hitter. And I remember I happened to be doing sidelines the day that Joey hit his first home run in that ballpark. And he hit it way, needless to say, up into right field, into one of those big party suites. And since there were no people in the ballpark, it was pretty easy for me to go retrieve that first home run ball. I didn't have to fight a person. I actually, there was one cardboard cutout that had the upper hand on me, but I know a little judo when I knocked the cardboard cutout down, Jeff. But anyway, but that was the thing. I mean, that was the narrative of the thing at first. This is too big. This is not the kind of park like the old one, especially, which had that short porch in right field. And basically, it seemed like there were a lot of hitters, even on the Rangers, specifically Joey Gallo, who weren't very fond of it. Then Corey Seager came, and he played the National League Championship Series and the World Series there. And I think he hit a home run every day, Jeff. So it was like, maybe this park isn't so hard to hit in.
Yeah. It's down the lines. I think it's fine. Uncle Ted, you have to pull home runs. Down the lines, I think you're good. But yeah, you don't see a lot of balls anymore that are hit over the bullpens. And if it's destroyed away right field, it's going to land in the first couple rows. You're not sure exactly. Now I do, and again, and I will admit that I don't really know what all goes into park factors. And if there are, actual measurements like elements and things like that play into it. And I still think that, like, if the team is crappy offensively,
right,
wouldn't that play into it? Now, I think though, over the years, Safeco or whatever it's called now, T-Mobile in Seattle, even when they've moved the fences in, is still a very, 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 very heavy pitcher's park. But as you know, you've been there many times, the damn wind's always blowing in.
Always
blowing in. Even and their roof, when they close the roof, it's just like putting up an umbrella. It's not it doesn't close, it's not an enclosed situation. Nope. So there's always elements in there, and it's always freezing, even in July. So I think that I just know what the numbers say. And Globe Life Field this year was tied with T-Mobile for the lowest park factor. Home runs, only 2 parks were harder in baseball, none in the American League, to hit home runs. And, was it the Rangers' inability to hit?
Right.
How much of it was that? They had some great pitchers.
Yeah.
Did that affect the other team?
Right.
Whatever it is. But it was interesting when we asked, Ross Fenstermaker was asked about it. We didn't do it, but somebody asked him about the park factors at the end of the season wrap-up, and he said every year has been a different number.
Yes.
So, we're 6 seasons in now, and so they haven't quite – they can't put their thumb on it.
Right.
And I don't know if they want to make all these drastic changes to the dimensions. And you could move center field in a few feet. That wouldn't be too hard. Instead of having the goofy corners kind of round it, maybe that would cut off some square footage or distance in center field. But I would leave it alone. It's the lineup and the personnel.
Yeah.
Let's change that and see what happens.
And especially since it has been different every year. And some of the data I think, of course, in 2023, when everybody was hitting well, the data suggested that it was not a hard ballpark to hit home runs in, right? Mm-hmm. And the Rangers were hitting tons of them. And then suddenly in 24, it's one thing, and then in 25, it's a different thing. And so in Vegas last week, somebody was going down this rabbit hole with the Rangers front office people, and they asked Ross, have you considered changing the dimensions, moving the walls in. And Ross kind of basically just said, first of all, we don't want to do anything drastic based on 1 year of data, or, especially when each year has been different. But two, yes, we would consider anything, right? We would. And so there's that. But then it was asked to see why. And he said, oh, we've never even thought about moving the walls, right? So who knows? Maybe they have, but that's not something they want to talk about, and or not something they're going to be serious about anytime soon. And I think that, what do we see? Baltimore has, how many times has Baltimore moved them? I mean, when teams start moving the walls, all of a sudden you go, oh, damn, we did that too far. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's stop that. Okay, let's go back to that. Right? I mean, stop moving the walls.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore made itself a pitcher's park.
They did.
And the year they were, the number one seed in the postseason, the Rangers went there and swept them. And I mean, the big hit in that series was a Mitch Garver grand slam.
Yeah.
In those two games that were played there, and so they moved him in this year, this season, and everything was back to normal. It is weird though, because it's left field exclusively, and then it juts back.
Yes.
Another, if they're putting in some new grass, they need to solve that situation.
Yes, to see if they can solve it a little bit. Yeah. So I don't think there's a move on the horizon for the Rangers or for Globe Life. I don't think there's any intention of making a move, and it's kind of funny too, just because numbers and every computer and everything. Like, I never remember hearing about park effects 20 years ago even.
Yeah,
right? I guess you did when Comerica Park opened. Juan Gonzalez was a Tiger, and he asked them to pull the walls in, and then he'd sign a free agent contract. Boy, does he rue the day he didn't sign that $96 million contract. Anyway, but, so there was talk of things like that, I said. And it was always, is this a pitcher's park or a hitter's park? But the reality became, doesn't matter. You figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and center field there in Comerica, for example.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Yeah.
And, with elevation in mind at Coors Field. Coors Field is gigantic.
Yeah, it's big.
It is enormous.
It needs to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think of other bigger ballparks. Now, like the Angels have monkeyed around with right field.
Yeah.
You used to have to hit it over the scoreboard, and now there's a line so that, they all try to do something. But it's park effects are there. If you're into the stats, what was it? Runs created plus accounts for, the plus accounts for park factors.
Okay.
And so they're out there, and that's why in, what was it, 18 or 19, 17, I don't know. The year Betts won the MVP, I didn't vote for him because I thought his park factors, Trout with the park factors included, just had better numbers.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with the way I did. But anyway,
and by the way,
I got ridiculed a little, but I don't care.
Yeah. And by the way, I hate the line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The line to me, and it causes delays, and it's hard to see, and the camera can't catch it. I can't stand the line. Like, get it over the fence. But anyway, that's probably a discussion for a different day. And we're not dealing with lines anywhere at Globe Life Field.
Well, they have some lines.
Where's that line?
Well, no, what it can be hard is like the little wall behind the wall.
Yes, that one is tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got a line, doesn't it? Yeah.
There's a line there in the left. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like it at all. Okay, we got more coming up. And coming up next, let's get to some of the stuff you're talking about. We want to get to that. And then we'll also talk about, Jeff's a Hall of Fame voter.
I am.
And so we want to talk about the chances of some of the former Rangers that are on the ballot. And do any of them have a shot? We'll talk about it next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
oh, look at that, it's a supporters club. I think you guys are all in it. Either you did it yourself or T.O. Graciously awarded you the supporters club membership. Either way, thank you very, very much, especially to T.O. What it is, it's just another way for you guys to impress your friends by watching exclusive videos that are only to supporter club members. It's easy to sign up. You go to the our DLS Sports YouTube homepage, and right next to the subscribe button, there's a little join button. Push that, takes you everywhere you need to go. John and I, we're probably due for one, right?
Yeah, I think we gotta be.
Yeah, so maybe next. Well, I don't know. Next week's a short week.
Maybe the week after.
Yeah, let's not overcook ourselves.
Yeah.
Kind of setting the theme. Let's not put that turkey in the oven just yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, become a member of the supporters club, and you won't regret it.
You won't regret that at all, and you won't regret becoming a newsletter subscriber. Super easy to do. Go to our website, alldlls.com, and go down to the bottom and scroll down, and then you'll see down in the bottom right, there's an opportunity for you to join, subscribe to the newsletter, and it's free. All you do is enter your email, and then every day in your inbox, you get like this fantastic synopsis of the previous day in sports for all of our teams, and then some, thoughtful things and some fun things that Ali puts in there as well. So it's really easy to do, and it's absolutely worthwhile. Especially, it's like, man, I don't have time to read, go through all the sites that I normally go through and check everything that I like to check, or in my case, read the paper because I still get a physical paper. I don't have time for that. Well, guess what I can do? I can just check on the newsletter, find out everything I need to know right there. Okay, so first, I saw somebody at the very beginning, Kat. Somebody said lots of chatter about Seager to the Braves. Who is that? Ethan? I haven't seen any, Jeff. And
I Googled it, and I guess that Ken Rosenthal said the Braves were one of the 8 teams on Corey Seager's no-trade list.
Okay.
And then people aggregated that into, Braves missing a chance on Seager. It's like, they're not interested in Seager.
No, that's not.
I mean, they might be interested, but it's not practical.
No, not that contract, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then what are they going to trade for him? Yeah, so I don't see that. I don't see that being a thing. Although, I guess geographically, he's from North Carolina,
right.
So he's closer to there,
okay.
And it's still close to Nashville, Atlanta. But that's the only sort of logical thing that factors into it. And
maybe he doesn't want to deal with people being so close,
right?
Asking for tickets all the time or something.
Kind of likes people.
Well, I thought about it.
And we would guess that that's probably true as well.
Yeah,
that he just doesn't want to deal with people. So anyway, that one was there. And then I saw somebody said about J.J. Bleday, and do you offer him a minor league contract? He's the 4th overall pick in 2019. He was DFA, or not? Was he DFA'd or
DFA'd?
DFA'd, yeah. And yes, hell yes. I mean, yeah, I do.
You want him?
I'll take him. On a minor league deal.
Yeah.
Come in here and push Evan Carter, right? And possibly help out in any of the other outfield positions just because, there's that pedigree. Now, obviously, he was DFA'd for a reason. He hasn't been very good, and he was with a team that hasn't been very good for a long time.
Well, he had a really good season in 24.
Okay.
But it's kind of been just kind of that's it. You
know?
And he's left-handed hitter, so I don't know that there's an obvious fit there.
Yeah, good point.
Because you probably don't want to make him your everyday right fielder.
Right.
But then do you want to carry a left-handed outfielder on your bench? I don't know. Yeah. I do. The name has been out there because once he got to AAA with the Marlins, I mean, he just tore up the minor leagues, and then it just hasn't worked out.
No,
he'll get a job somewhere.
Yeah, somebody will offer him at least a minor league job, and he'll see if he can go back and prove himself. But
7 p.m.
There you go. 7 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be ready. We'll be very ready to do an emergency podcast if we need to. And there you go. Mason had it in there too. Mason, we appreciate you. You saw something, Curdua projecting Wyatt to go 30-30 next season. Yeah, I don't think that's, that's in him, right?
Yeah.
I think that's in Wyatt Langford.
Well, Travis Jankowski said that.
Did he?
Last week when we talked to him. He said, he could be 30. Travis even said 40-40. Not at some point.
Year.
But
he might have that in him, sure.
He hits the ball really, really hard and is very, very fast. So those are like two requirements to stealing bases and hitting home runs.
Yeah, if you can do those things, you can, be a 20-20 guy and then a 30-30 guy and then a 40-40 guy.
Yeah.
Or has there only been the one? There has, right? Shohei was a 50-50 guy?
50-50, yeah.
50-50. Good God. Like we sometimes say these things about Shohei and you go, yeah, he had 50 home runs and 50 steals. Good heavens, that's a lot. So he's a unicorn, as we saw earlier this week when they're doing a unicorn giveaway. All right, let's talk about some of these Hall of Famers on the ballot. Ian Kinsler, I know you voted for, Jeff.
He's no longer on the ballot.
Oh, he's not?
He did not get the 5%.
Oh.
So he's out.
So you voted for him last year. Oh, the ballot I must have seen was the one from last year.
Yeah. Okay,
Gotcha.
well, that's fine. Well, we can make do. Who else we got? I'm ready to vote.
Chew.
Nope. If it was like Hall of Fame person, first ballot.
Yeah.
But he just, he was an all-star once.
Yeah.
And no, I can't see it. I don't know that anybody will vote for him.
And he's not going to get the 5%.
Oh,
in
no.
other words. No. Okay. Is this his first year on the ballot?
First year.
Yeah.
First and last.
Yeah, first and last. How about Cole Hamels?
That's an interesting one. I could see him getting 5%. But I don't think I'll vote for him.
Don't you?
I don't think so.
I mean, he did some pretty significant things when he got here.
Well, he was a World Series MVP for the Phillies. That's pretty nice. When he got here, he helped lead the Rangers to the division. He was really good the next year, though not in the playoffs. But I just don't.
You just don't think he's got Hall of Fame worthiness?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. And then how about, and someone else is asking about it in there, Curdua asks about, as do I, Hunter Pence.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It depends on how many Bay Area voters there are, I think. He's a winning player, hard-nosed, multiple-time All-Star, played on some World Series teams. I don't know that I'll vote for him, but I could see him hanging around for another year, getting to 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to get 75% to get in, right?
To get into the Hall of Fame, yes.
So he probably, even if he gets to 5, he probably doesn't have that other 70 in.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah. No, that's asking a lot. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, Chew is just above average, not even a conversation. And you're right, Ethan. I mean, it's just he's a former Ranger who we loved and who, I mean, he had on-base skills that were unbelievable,
Yeah.
But that's not enough to make you a Hall of Famer, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
Buddy Bell, one of the most underrated third basemen ever.
I agree with that.
And,
I agree with that. I think Buddy Bell needs to get on a
veterans
lands on a ballot, a committee ballot,
veterans committee or whatever.
He's pretty darn good.
Yeah, he was.
Especially
and it's a great point. He plays in the same era with George Brett and Mike Schmidt. So you kind of get, dwarfed by them. You don't win. You don't make a lot of all-star teams as a starter because of them.
Right.
So you get, you're just bad luck, bad timing.
Yeah.
There's that. And
now the two guys who have the best chance to get to 75% this year are technically former Rangers. Carlos Beltran.
Okay.
For the 2 months in 2016.
I was going to say, right at the end of the year. Yeah.
And then Andrew Jones in 2019. Or 2009. Jesus, 2009.
9. Was he here for the whole season? No.
He made it the whole season.
The whole year.
Yeah. So they're your I mean, and then A-Rod's a former Ranger. He'll get enough votes to continue to remain on the ballot. Omar Vizquel, also from 2009, will
Yeah.
somehow figure out to stay on the ballot, but he ran into trouble with the allegations of domestic violence. I think that's all of them. Maybe I'm missing another one, but no career Rangers,
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Jones and Vizquel, I think they were significant in significant veterans in teaching the young Rangers just how to be professionals in many ways. In 2009, the team was on the rise anyway. And in fact, Omar was here to basically tutor Elvis Andrus.
Sure. Yeah. Same country.
Yep.
Venezuela. Now, I mean, if you're just voting straight defense, then they're in. Andrew Jones had a couple great offensive seasons, but I just, and I would suspect if you asked Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, and Tom Glavine, why, what are some of the reasons for your success? They would say Andrew Jones in center field.
Sure,
he caught everything, and and the thing is, he played so shallow. He played a very shallow center, and would still be able to get back and get the balls. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I have voted for him every year he's been on the ballot, and I've had a vote. Uncle Ted for exactly 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Josh Hamilton was the best player to ever play. I mean, he was Mike Trout before Mike Trout.
Yeah,
he could run. He could hit for power, hit for average. And I've never July. I think it was July of 2010. He was the AL Player of the Year or Player of the Month, and he ended up winning the MVP. I've never seen anything like that.
No.
I've never seen anything like that. Mm-mm. A player have a month like that. It was unbelievable.
I think, obviously I wasn't around for Mickey Mantle, but it seems like the way Mickey at 19 burst onto the scene and then just, right? Yeah. It seems like that's what Josh was. And he was that classic 5-tool guy, and might have been that, 4 or 5 years earlier? Mm-hmm. Except for the Demons, right? He had the injury, and then he tried crack, and then he was hooked, and then he was out, and then he was in, and then all of a sudden, man, he still had that in him.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much relapses and things like that played into the quick descent after that, meteoric ascent.
Well, and then you wonder about his body's ability to recover from injuries.
Sure. And whether that had anything to do with all the things he had put in, because some people just don't. Your body just doesn't recover.
Yeah. So, 2008, he was, I think, third in MVP, or maybe that's where I voted him. And then 2009, he was hurt. Still had a pretty good year considering all the time he missed. 10 MVP, 11 again missed some time, but was great. Hit what should have been the game-winning home run in the World Series. The World Series clinching home run. 12. The first 6 weeks of 12, he was unbelievable.
He was.
And he still hit 42 homers, and then, he had that dry spell in the summer, and then his eyes went wonky or whatever. And he said that he had chewed tobacco against his wife's wishes, and she was up his butt about it, and that led to, I don't know if it led to him getting the shakes. I don't know, but he had just a terrible July. And then his last game in the Rangers uniform was that wild card game in 12, and of course in the game 160 or the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, tiebreaker game.
Missed that fly ball.
Yeah,
and then he went 0 for 4 on 9 pitches in the wild card game. So
and there was the series in Oakland.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The one in Oakland. Just missing the ball.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I think there was a time in that duration in there where he was saying it had to do with day games and the fact that he has blue eyes. Blue-eyed people. Remember, blue-eyed people can't see as well during day. Poor Josh. I mean, and I love the guy, but and the Sherlock's incident. Yeah, of course, Uncle Ted. We all remember that. And so anyway, he was. I mean, if he played like that, he still would have had to play he would have had to play like that for more than twice as long as he did. Even 5 years like that probably doesn't get him into the Hall of Fame.
No, I mean, that's when you're getting into, 5 hitter seasons equivalent to Sandy Koufax's heyday.
Right.
And
what did he have? 6? I think he had
like 61 to
66 maybe.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah, like unhittable fantastic.
Yeah,
like the best.
Yeah, and Don Mattingly hasn't had enough years.
Right.
And so it's something else.
Yeah. It's tough. But that's why the Baseball Hall of Fame is so great. It is not easy to get in there. And 2.5 great years being the best player every day in baseball doesn't quite do it. All right, cleanup segment coming next. We have Rangers news sort of in it next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Look, let's become diehards. There's the QR code. You can scan it now, and it's $79.99 for 12 months, beginning the day you sign up and running until your anniversary. Then you'll renew and all that stuff. You get a free T-shirt. You get 20% off of our stuff at the merchandise store. You'll get 20% off our events, early access to our events. And you get to read all of our stories, not just the ones that are free, for which there's a very small number of those, but the ones that are behind the paywall. Mm-hmm. Now, look, we're your friends, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you wait a few days? Wait. I think there's going to be some Black Friday things happening, maybe some Cyber Monday things happening. So, but if you're going to wait, make me the promise that you're going to sign up a friend
That's
too.
Right.
Okay. It's only fair. So become a diehard in a few days.
We're trying to save you money. There will be a sale, a big one, on these babies too. So, keep your wallet in your pocket for now. But there will be, of course, like with everybody else, Black Friday deals. And we want you to avail yourself to them, because what that'll allow you to do is buy 2 or 3 of these, or buy 1 of these for everybody in your family. This is the shirts. There's all kinds of other stuff. Jeff had that great-looking hoodie on yesterday.
Good-looking hoodie.
Yeah, I forgot about the hoodie, because you don't need them very often in Texas.
No.
I mean, Jeff does. I don't. Yeah.
I need them at all hours.
Yeah, I don't.
My wife likes the house cold.
I don't need a hoodie because I'm just always warm. Jeff's always cold. So anyway, but this store.allcitynetwork.com is the place to go to get all the merchandise. And again, because we like you so much, we'll wait a couple of days. Okay? All right. Last night. First of all, the Mavs and the Stars both got robbed in their last 2 games. The Stars got robbed against the Islanders with the goalie interference, and I don't want to get into too much. It's like pass interference in the NFL, or college football for that matter, or high school football. You could call goalie interference on damn near every goal, but they called it, and the goal was overturned, and so the Stars lost to the Islanders. They might have won. Last night, the Mavs are driving to a win against the Knicks. Isn't that interesting? 2 New York teams. I'm suspecting something here. It was the Islanders for the Stars. It was the Knicks last night, and I'll be danged. An offensive foul was called on the layup.
He made the bucket,
game-winning layup that was made.
That would have been game time.
That would have been game time.
Yeah.
Would have given him the breath to have an easy win in overtime. So everybody who left that game who was a Mavericks fan was very, very disappointed. And as we watched people exit the arena, we saw some familiar faces. And there's a couple of players.
Oh, hey, I know them.
Who's that? Well, I'll be darned. It's a disappointed Mavs fan. It's Clayton Kershaw. And who's that behind him? It's Jock Peterson. Yep. Look at Jock. Doesn't look like there's been a serious training regimen going on. And yet, he didn't have a thing of nachos in his hand.
He wears a ton of baggy clothes and sweatpants, possibly intentionally. So maybe, but we're still early in the offseason, John.
Yep.
Can't lose it all at once.
Nope. All right. So there was a Jock sighting. I'm going to say this. I like that he's in town.
I do like that. Yeah, that's
I like that he's in town. It indicates that he, is trying to, and I'm sure any training he's doing is obviously around the ballpark, and he's with the guys. So I like that. I like. I think that there's something to that a guy like Clayton Kershaw wants to hang out with him, right?
I mean, people like Jock.
Yeah. I mean, and Corey Seager, was all on board.
He and Marcus Semien are big buddies. So
Anyway,
there's that, and also, he has a history with Justin Veely. They work together with the Giants.
Yes,
and so maybe if he's begun his hitting program or plans to begin it in the short term, he will be at the ballpark with Justin, who has a history with him and knows the swing and can hopefully get things fixed.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll leave it.
And I like that, Tony. Yeah, he's more available than AD, which is a heck of a point. I forgot that Anthony Davis was even still on the team.
The Packers fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, that one. You're a big Packers fan. Okay, so more on the baseball MLB TV stuff. So, and it was, I'm just reading what I see. After we came on and just talked about NBC, Netflix, and ESPN yesterday, well, Fox and TNT are still involved, or TBS.
Oh, good.
Yeah, in the postseason. They're still involved. It's funny. I saw them list like what everybody got. I assume NBC probably gets the World Series, but it's never been like they show ALCS, NLCS, playoffs, ALDS. If anybody in the chat saw it, let me know. I'm not positive who's doing the damn World Series. And I'm like you. I wouldn't mind if it was I wouldn't mind at all if it was Fox. I will say this. Joe Davis is a good broadcaster. He's daily on the Dodgers broadcast.
Yep.
And he's a good broadcaster, and he's from Michigan. So I have a soft spot.
All right.
But I don't think he's very – I shouldn't say I don't think he's very good. I think he's very good. I just don't think he's – you're probably going to go crazy on the chat. I really like Joe Buck.
I don't mind Joe Buck.
I like him a lot, and baseball especially. And so anyway – and I liked him with Smoltz, another Michigan guy.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just saying. And I know a lot of people don't like Smoltz. Even in the Ranger year, I like Smoltz. So, and a lot of people, Ranger fans, were hating on John for that.
Yeah, I went back and I watched a lot of the games after the fact because we don't have audio.
Right. That's same with me. Yeah, that's how I got
it. I
didn't see it.
I didn't really see that.
No, I didn't either. So, but anyway, so there are a lot of layers to this thing, and we'll see where the World Series is. But everybody's got a little piece of this, and that probably means Smoltz stays with Fox, I would think, but we'll see. Anyway, one of the games that Netflix has is the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
And the Field of Dreams game, look at there. That's just so cool.
Yeah.
Out there in Iowa. It's going to be the Twins and the Phillies. And
I thought it was the Braves.
No, Twins and Phillies. And
okay.
I think the Braves might be in the Little League game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So many games.
And I think NBC's got the Little League game. No, ESPN. I mean, that's the thing. And so we're already going like,
Damn
who
it.
has what? I know. Who has what? You can't just automatically turn on a network.
Thanks a lot, MLB.
Yeah, thank you. So the Field of Dreams game is set for August 13th, and I'll be by the channel, man. That thing, most of these special event games have been great, but that first Field of Dreams game, man, that was so awesome.
It was a good game, too.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Speaking of the Braves, which you just were, they're making moves. They keep Iglesias for $16 million. And then they make the trade, and they get from the Astros Mauricio Dubon for Nick Allen. And they, I think and everybody in Houston's writing, it's a money move, right?
Yeah,
Dubon's,
saving like $5 million.
Yeah,
they say.
Yeah, and Dubon, I mean, he's a couple of times All-Star.
Gold Glove winner.
Gold Glove winner. So, it seemed like a one-sided trade. But with Nick Allen, you get 2 or 3 or 4 more years of control. So probably a money move there.
Nick Allen, Brett Boone's son-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. All-Star Game weekend. The draft is now moving to Saturday, Jeff.
I like that.
And the Futures game on Sunday.
I like that.
Is that just a flip? Was it the opposite last year?
It's always been the draft on Sunday.
Right, and I think
since they've started doing it.
Yeah, and I think the Futures game was Saturday, or it might even have been Friday. I don't remember, but you're right. The draft has been Sunday, and I like it Saturday too.
Yeah. Hey, sports guy T.O., you can have Gus Johnson. I love Gus Johnson.
Really,
I think he's hysterical. I don't just the way he calls the games and as emotional and out of control that he gets. My friends and I take great delight, and we have a joke that he's, Gus is rooting for whoever.
Yeah.
So, like Ohio State, or he's rooting UT or whatever. So I like Gus. And I really like Joel Klatt because I've known Joel since he's 8 years old. So
have you really?
Yeah, I've known Joel a long time.
I was Joel's first TV partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was on our Big 12 coverage at Fox. Joel and I are friends. Yeah, remember Joel being in the studio, Kat? Yeah. And he was motivated, and he wanted to be so bad. He wanted to be the Ohio State quarterback who does everything on Thursday Night Football.
Kurt Herbstreit.
We
also make fun of Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah,
too.
He wanted to be Herbie so bad, and he is, or better. I mean, he's that. So good for Joel. Love Joel. So at 8, he was 8. How old were you?
I was 15.
And how did you know him then?
My father was an assistant coach on Joel's first baseball team.
No kidding.
And so they were like an 8-year-old all-star team that played up a year. So they were playing 9-year-olds and just beating the tar out of them.
Yeah.
And Joel was drafted as a baseball player.
He played in
baseball. He played in the Padres organization.
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter, on the Instagram the other day, he has a really funny Ricky Henderson story.
Okay.
You can go look it up because I don't want to blow it, but it's pretty funny. But Joel, and eventually, the baseball thing didn't pan out. He went to Colorado University and was their quarterback. And he was their quarterback in that disastrous Big 12 title game against Vince Young. It was
down there in
64 to nothing.
Yeah.
He got a concussion in the first half.
Yep.
But even then, he was an analyst because as the draft was unfolding that year, I was talking to him, and I think, what was it? Vince Young went 4th overall. I was like, Jeff, I just don't get Vince Young being 4th overall. He goes, our defense only had to prepare for 4 passing plays.
Wow.
So they dumbed it down completely for Vince. And of course it worked because they out-talented everybody.
Yeah. And he out-talented everybody.
And then Pete Carroll didn't punt on 4th down.
Right.
But anyway, I've digressed. We've gotten away from baseball.
We have. That'll happen. That'll happen when you bring up these announcers. But I'm not a fan of Gus Johnson either, T.O. T.O., I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of Gus Johnson. Joe Tessitore is my least favorite unless he's doing boxing.
I can get on that.
Joe was an intern of mine.
Oh, my goodness.
At NBC5. Good friend. Still talk to Joe. Talked to him this summer. And I just think, I've never asked him, I think he's trying to kind of be a poor man's Jim Nance, and Nance may have been kind of emulating Pat Summerall,
maybe,
where it's the fewer words, right? So, Joe will just say, left side of the line, 4 yards, right? And you're like, okay, give me more.
Yeah.
Joe Buck talks a lot, but that's what I think he's doing. I was always trying to emulate Dick Enberg.
Okay.
Who was my guy, right? So, anyway.
I like Sean McDonough.
I like Sean, too.
He's incredibly versatile.
He is. Sean does it.
He does get a little preachy sometimes.
A little bit. So does Joe Buck. Yeah, but whatever.
All right.
Okay. All right. So that's announcer talk. We didn't get to half of the cleanup segments.
I love it.
You know what? Some of those cleanup items they'll save for tomorrow. So
hey, we're doing work for you tomorrow.
Yeah,
excellent.
You'll see him. You'll see him then. And Garagiola was on NBC. To I saw it. They were showing the thing. He was there. So we were wondering about that yesterday.
Terrific.
We couldn't remember. Now we can. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Another edition DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.